Very beautiful Monday morning on 10th February 2025. My name is Robert Edward. I'm with my colleague Albert. This is Press Review, and we'll be taking you as usual through the Daily Times and the national newspapers. Just going through some of the stories that are on the front page and of course other pages. We do as much as we can to go through some of the stories. The main idea of this program is not to read you through every story, but just few selected stories so that you go and buy your own newspaper and abreast yourself with what's happening in the country. So we'll start with the Daily Times. Kumano mimi kwasani ga emoni ya mtondo
mwanadamu Mungu yamba
ndo babani
tazuga kai
tazuga kulibani kumene nyumba
kokobwino sinozozo kubele mbali ya mwana
kwatu ni wakobani kwa wali ndi kunyumba ndi ya Anyamata mangosia mafundo ndizo zote saka makomo ajina hopso ni gambeta ajina ndatote bali bewe masi ya kunyumba ndi basi bakomo alandro de azuka kanira nsoni kodi kwa otherwise kunyumba kulibali
uli bwino kama ko
yaba komo bali bwino bakomo pano masiya nkazi wana ngati bali nkazi wana kunyumba basi mwenye
kusiana
waka wasiya nkazi ndi
wali nkazi eka babena mwana eka
ya bomele kumba masiya nyumba bene ikale kazi ni mwana clear siba babele bako basi bakako komola uje mbaya nyumba
ambili kuli makomo
kuli ambili ali makomo bana la Luntha bali makomo inu masi ya komo ni mapacha ayo also nikambira nda nyumba so da pacha tandi wizuma na yeso bado mwangaza madina abakoda bakaraika Bacharankazi.
Chichewa jake kazi.
Aya, Emmanuel Yautsa. Emmanuel, we have so many of them. Pamuzibano. Amina ni hapa nyumba. Hapa komondo jepa. So tiambe jonji kuti government hunts for alternatives to US aid. The government says it is working hard to ensure that the gap left by the aid previously provided by the United States Agency for International Development USAID is filled for beneficiaries so beneficiaries do not suffer. This follows a 90-day pause on foreign aid to allow for a review of the efficiency and alignment with the foreign policy of the recently elected US President Donald Trump. Speaking to Daily Times, Minister of Information and Government spokesperson Moses said the government is finding ways to ensure that those who are benefiting are not suffering. Tell me,
last time tinabwera pano ti mabereka chiyembekezo kuti yayi osadandaula tozioneka ngati USAID itsekulidwa ndi zina zonse koma zikuonetsa ngati kuti nkhani ija every day zikungobwerapo zatsopano. Last time we were talking about amene timakamba pobwereza kuti zikuonetsa ngati kuti boma makamaka la Trump likhoza kubweza ganizo lake makamaka lofotokozera ndithu kuti USAID ayambaso kupereka mwina thandizo koma zikuonetsa ngati as it goes is about USAID adzulo zikuonetsa ngati kuti yayi pakhoza kukhala kuma mtima manso sikuti chiyembekezo titayeka
no chiyembekezo tisayeka. It's about the funding, whether the funding comes through USAID or will be coming from another agency, but for the American government it's about the funding. And not necessarily the usage as usage. There are other American government agencies that actually provide funds to Malawi. You have CDC as well, and so it's not only usage.
The usage,
No. So I think what government is trying to say here is that we will still find alternatives. Yeah. Alternatives to say, okay, if you cannot give us through this your agency, because it's their agency, so if they feel like it was not efficient enough, they are deliberate to say, this year. And so there could be aid still coming, but through other agencies, not USAID. I saw a video somewhere, a social media post, and to again the Abuchosa. How you say it? They purported to be their headquarters. Machine so it's something. Then I was asking someone, how sure are you that this is a recent video? You know, social media can do it. Something that happened maybe.
What people should be sure of, everything. Chimabezeka ba social media. Inundine lokutiti balamule bana. Chitusi cha ino muli ku court 2021 kandi 2019 mlandu wa chisankho. Izabezeka kuti chakulukaso leo amuri ya court. So chilajili chose there is always something related to a recent story.
That's social media for you.
That's social media.
Please do not just believe anything. You be panicking for nothing. Social media can do it. It has its own ways. I don't know how, but imagine if a scenario like that, where that video maybe was taken some time back, and then something like that, and so you can see. Komano, as you said, as we're going to read every passing day, things are getting worse. And it was yesterday when we Barla Minadu, Linajita Grant, Abuji Osa Mene Okirachiro, Ogosida 2000, Amenera Bubiditsi administrative leave, the Boma, la United States of America, Asabide guy. So I got an injunction Menebo as it is in the Buti, the story has taken a different turn. It's now gone in the legal perspective. So you can see good even stories like that most of the times are not largely publicized. So what it means is if those guys are supposed to go to an administrative it has been halted until a court decides otherwise. So let's just follow the development, but let us not panic as a people. I think we should go to another story in the Nation newspaper.
Alright, in the Nation newspaper, the main story on the front page says refugees stay here to stay, and that's of course the main headline. And there is a sub-headline which says woman claims saw her 2 sons slaughtered like chickens. Malawi engages Mozambique on the best way forward. And of course, partly the story is appearing on the, it appears on the second page, and it says, in the thick of the post-election violence in protest over Mozambique's October 2024 votes, hundreds of Mozambicans, include women and children, crossed into Malawi and other neighboring countries to seek refugee. But what was anticipated to be a temporary relief appears to be a permanent move, especially among a majority of those in Malawi who have vowed not to return to their country, even at a gunpoint, despite the return of peace. Zibudero nditwagudi anzatu amene anabwera kuchokera ku Mozambique kamba kuti kumene kuli chisokonezo adathawa ndithu kumene kubwera ku Malawi seeking refugee akuti ena mwayiwa kuti sapita ngakhale kutabwerera mtendere akuti chifukwa cha zokhoma zimene akumana nazo that side. So
Malawians may not really understand this, especially this our generation, maybe because of never been confronted with that kind of reality that friends. So we can simply understand them as a country. Komano, at the time when peace has returned, I don't think it's good to entertain them, continue being staying in Malawi. When there is peace, let them go back. If they cannot go back peacefully, you force them to go back. I mean, that's what it means to protect your national boundaries and territories. So if someone is coming and we have evidence indeed, Kondo, Mozambique. I don't think it can be wise to say Kumano there is that peace. I don't think it can also be wise to say as a country we are already suffering a lot with a lot of things. So it's just something, but you cannot stop people like that speaking the way they are speaking because what they saw and
true, they are still traumatized.
Imagine, sometimes Patagonia, if you want to talk about government demonstrations in town, you could see Minisma Karira just a mere takers. Many can make someone to have discomfort. Now these people, they will face something beyond takers and they face real arms and the Zosakabi, and so it can be really traumatized indeed. So I think we should just indeed the best way government is doing would at least I can be done in the other Mozambique so that it should be a win-win situation. A win-win in the sense that our men victims of that of those activities in Mozambique, they should also find peace. At the same time, if by taking them in at a time when we also have our own problems here, our distribution of resources. And so I think what government is saying there, it's a good move. I think if it can go that way, it's because what it is. Now, Forex info, take nose dive. Story like this one would think it should come in the business, but if it's on the front page, it means there is something. The amount of foreign currency sent back to Malawi by Malawians living in the diaspora promoted from 300 million in 2021 to 112.5 million last year, exacerbating the country's foreign exchange challenges, according to the latest Malawi Economic Monitor by the World Bank. At the same time, outflows reached 126.4 million US dollars, turning net remittances negative for the first time. According to the World Bank, high transaction fees for inbound remittances and a significant premium between the official and parallel exchange rates discouraged inflows through official channels, thereby intensifying the forex crisis. When we are talking to each other in this country, we should know that we are in forex crisis. When there are these press-team people of Bom and Rumwili speaking whatever they think they are speaking the right thing, they should know that we are in forex crisis. We are in forex crisis because the government is failing to bring forex, nothing else. I mean, we cannot blame anybody on this thing. We blame ourselves, and by ourselves I mean the leadership is failing, is showing levels of incompetence to bring forex, and so we are in crisis.
And on top of that, to come back, the Malawian kwacha has hit, dollar.
Yes.
$1 is equal to 4,000 Malawi kwacha on the black market.
Imagine that.
zintu zake zimvecha chisoni. You look at that crisis and see ampakugamba kungodzuka kumene boma ndilomweli chakuti everything politicizing, because that's an issue enena zoti amene obwera pamodzi knowing okay this is the reality on the ground. Osati akangobwera zinena zimene akutena zindisapotsa akutera no. The issue is find the solution and solve it.
You know this one, I think they can say whatever they want to say. Whatever. They can say whatever they want to say to sugarcoat. But you know, one thing I like about reality is that it acts. It doesn't speak. You know, reality acts. How does the reality act? You can ask Muhogumons. You can tell Muhogumons, if you to be but after that rally or after that meeting with you, that Muhogumons is going to go to the market to buy tomatoes.
And 501 tobacco is sailing at 1,000.
You understand? Whatever I've told the person is going to go because of reality.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think the best is to be flat. Find
the solution. Vuto solika bwera nyonji kumanganira zavura dziko lonse lapansi
finding ways to just
as you said has pulled out and we are no longer receiving funds from the United States of America, so as it unfolds zikuoneka ngati kuti zinthu zikutivuta. No, find a solution. You are leaders there. You know, ndino atsogoleri kuti muzipeza ma solution.
And the solution is not tagging people who are speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And then madaba, I think you know why is it that they cannot come and say, what the World Bank is saying is what
World Bank has released is fake
because
and land basis.
We had a president in this country, Professor Bingo Mtadika, the late. He was able to say, no, as far as I'm concerned, economics so IMF
let's say IMF come.
And I will
tell them easy muguna.
It means the person knew what he was doing and what he was saying. The fact that this our president now cannot even speak like that, he knows that whatever these people are saying is true.
Yeah.
Okay? So, zivuta kwambiri today I saw a press release by Mera closing down 4 filling stations because they were selling mafuta in jerrycans, zgubu. And then we had a discussion with someone and I was like, okay, these people are really serious with the enforcement part of the act, of liquid fuel act, and on this part and asagule mafuta zigubu indagamadelo akumatega. But then I say, what makes people go buy mafuta zigubu? It's because of the fact that mafuta was
definitely you wouldn't say
mafuta banjira ko ipa filling station because every driver, okay, let me tell you this, every driver amaziwa olokalo gari simone engage amazozo gari
ikoza kuta mafuta
kuba kwene ndubira mpaka ndingira ni
filling station. Yeah.
So those filling station ma filling station attacks also kuzana balibi mafuta. Okay, then you force yourself to go to another, then you start now you start looking for the what? For the commodity, for the commodity, and when you're looking for the commodity, you're burning mafuta to the point you get more mafuta. If mafuta kakazora magwira, kabina agwira means makali na mburo. I don't think the situation in Gadi kanakara. In fact, enforcement it's a way of containing the crisis.
Yeah.
So it's because of the fact that we're in crisis. And I think the best way is to make sure that the crisis is not there. And you can do that by bringing the fuel. But I tell you, I had a conversation with the Minister of Energy last Friday. I was asking him about Anyamata. You see, these people, if you hear the explanation from that Bomari Kutinji, the issue is the transport and logistics part. And President Agudi transport aina sakufuna ukapanga gatenga chali transport they are demanding a certain amount of money from government kula abasa. Remember kumene tukalengera mafuta nawo ngikutanga port ya Tanga not kumene tumakalengera ambuyo. As well there is a change of the route and what, and then our transporters are putting an argument to say no, if it's there you need to increase what things like that. And government is also making its stand to say no, if you want to do business with us, you do it at this cost. So it hoarded fuel in this country until President was shocked to hear the minister of energy's agencies, that's Nera, Nokimaja, and the president, to fight with mafuta. And the president ufuna kweza mafuta. Kweza mafuta agiatyo. Mafuta zinzalibale. Yani tuvuze sobo takweza mgrosare muno. Ali kuti sobo mulimi. Kuda ndo maganiza basi. Is that how people think? Somebody said if it was a CS government, lero bezukuti hene gaja je janamu yosanshito. Today bezukuti minister of energy ngoli mutanda Amatora anajo sanshito, because these are the people literally who are failing, including the Lokma bosses. I remember
ntawe mene amajira reshuffle cabinet bosa jiraba antu kwambiri amayang'anira bari ya Amatora akambira amayang'ana kuti Amatora akakhala boso ngapena china chake chichitika.
Yes.
Now people were surprised waona kuti zina lawo lilimta.
Yeah, so ngani yakuti mafuta kusowa kwa mafuta nziko mnomo. It's because of levels of incompetence by government agencies who are responsible for this. And the president has described the incompetence as failures. The president, imagine president, you are failing. Okay? And these people have got no shame at all. People are even manyazi and they wake up and they go and they use government vehicles. They are okay. Your boss has told you, my dear, you are failing. And you have the luxury. You understand? So you have the strength to even go and face Malawians and you start speaking, hey, the president called us. We have
1, 2, 3.
It just speaks volumes of how we talk in this, how we joke in this country. Now, because of president, nice president. I think that level of hypocrisy. I think it's there indeed, because the president, I think the president could have said, my resort now goes on by let us appoint someone who is going to do you understand? So
sometimes what our president said that time, one would construe good.
Sometimes there is this art that I saw one being in the president. The president always know what to say and he wants. Okay, if I can touch this button, Malawians will be happy with me. So you deliberately touch that one so that you praise him, and then he knows behind him he didn't mean whatever you are saying. Because okay, so and then even Zamakis, I asked the Minister of Energy, I said, so do you know that ESCOM has raised markets? At the time when Magesi was Matima, I asked him, and this was his response.
Apart from Matima, we have some areas. Akala mwina mwezi, ena akala mawiki 4, ena mawiki atatu without Magesi. Or simply more.
You can imagine that. And so his response was, yeah, Esko Mudu, Sima Banga Magesi. And he was trying to explain some technical process, and I was like, so this minister thinks he's talking to someone who doesn't know whatever is happening. So, do you think that explanation, do you think Malawians would want to know who makes Magesi and what? No. What Malawians wants is Magesi as
they told us today. Vudo linali kugabijira.
Yes.
And last month anaruza kulita maliza chiro zose kugabijira. The spokesperson wa Ijeko anaruza ifaluntha. Kuti ife right now ndikubereka magetsosa mene tima bereka ku Eskom. Apart from that, they are also getting additional megawatts. So now it's up to Eskom. Okay, does this mean the persistent blackouts will go now? They will disappear. It's also sitting there. What we know is Yamageti omuli kubereka ku Eskom abuli chikuwembekezera kuti mavuto ena amagetsiwo akoza kuchepa chifukwa chonazo dasipeza mphamvu yochuluka than before. So akamati minister akamabwera vanhu kumbaza kamba zoti ai jenko this jenko that. No, we don't want them to be throwing balls to each other.
Actually, the explanation simply means that you are failing. If you are doing it, you don't need to explain. If you are doing it, you don't need to explain.
That's why late Professor Bingwa Mtarika was saying Nchiro Zamanyanga zinijiro. I know that's a powerful way. Jifugwa ntawi zambiri mugajira amafokoza. I will give an example of miseo kulirongwe. You see good miseo ingabo ya kuseba. Now you don't need to ask her kuti miseo kulirongwe kwanje. People will be saying, "I don't take away a basi. We don't have one to be a one to you move fast. You don't have matter how much things like that. No minister has gone mubasi mondo no,
so as much as that's and the RGB guys and whether I or not MCD it's always because of the fact that I was unsafe.
Now let's go back to issue ya tomato.
Yes.
Tomato that's another issue. Okay, there is no regulation but prices and all that.
Yeah. So I don't tomato okay.
I was trying to run away from if bangaoni now
if kujita control inflation ntengo inflation so you know because I didn't think that the government is doing its best and is controlling the inflation. So there's no matter where I need to. I
was trying to be a Christian on this.
Yeah.
Now this also takes me to issue ya Chimanga. 90,000 tumba muganize muntu amena kugira nchiro Malawi. Ndekuti tumba la Chimanga nikubiri sana ndi salary ya muntu nawo
kama kolongo ika transport ayo basi
tumba la Chimanga joka without kujigaro mwina so without ndio without mafuta ndazi zake zikupikisana ndi salary ya munthu. How are you going to survive as a man? Now
transport, other obligations, and school. Now, let me give you an example of that issue. When people say no, it's not government, on this one, had it been really Boma, Nasekura, Misagayo said, and Musagamat, my do you think the base could have reached that price?
No.
So the reason is the failure of government that is making Guri Chimanga Ntengomino. So it all borders on the decision making and the leadership. Unfortunately, you know, Panova, I think little by little, no matter the say so. I think he might not really be the problem. I think the guy tries to have a good will from others, but he has good boys that do not care about him. And
that's what I think also.
Anyamata.
Anyamata. Last time amanena zote Admark yekuganiza zoka kula Chimanga akuti ku Tanzania.
Yes.
The inclement that Punoku Malawi, the prices were higher. Now, I was thinking, okay, Mugati mitengo ya Chimanga ya kwera mutathoza chani yeti mitengoyo mabanga zino no ngaboma kudzera ku Ministry of Agriculture ama farm get prices. Now akamanena kuti mitengo ya kwera kutathoza kuti they trying to accept kuti fail Tanganyika kuchita regulate mitengo ya Chimanga.
They have failed to enforce their own regulations.
Sure.
Zavuda na ulibungu yako soma bungu yako soma limana kuti ngatuku bena nyimbo yani uzikana license ngalulibe ama uyanda polisi kodi mubanga banja amalanda
karunda amalanda.
So if you are failing to do that, it means basi failure and brace for the consequences of you being the failure.
Nkani ya Romato hii.
Yes.
Had it been good if the regulation is there.
Yes.
Sindo kulubila kuti Romato wese kukula 1,000. Now issue inaso ndiya misika misika mashoko siyana you find kuti winali yese mitengo akubweka mbena lero mitengo
zina brede sunofuna ndilichule. I think entire atitera mfano ngoleka kuti ECB post dispute rages hearing set for March 14 zija Oscar Rauro aku ndanza waja ahirale chomba akufuna ukhala akwa mabungu ya ECB nkani mene ya bila milandu parties weigh options ahead of course. And
a related story to that one, a report says fraud Mars, Malawi and Uganda ports. It seems to be reports wanted to go Malawi unogu kumaso Uganda the samples that would zimakandi Cuba
mixed blondes Queens lose decider to Uganda, Malawi 45 and the Uganda that's 50. I think familiar with
the champion on arts and culture abuti Lironga girls wins 2025 NASFEX, and of course Nepman goes gospel in EP.
Mwango wambili Anyamata watu mailingo. You're very with me, Robert Edward, and my colleague
Helbert Katanda.
Continue watching Luntha television.